Rather large, welcome back to Cossy's Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in all parts of the world. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a brand new video. We're going to be diving into the latest around Arsenal. We are talking David Ornstein confirming that Moises Caicedo is a concrete option if Arsenal do not get Declan Rice. He says Arsenal have a team working on Moises Caicedo and others if Rice does not come off. But then he says at the moment, Declan Rice is still seen as a top priority for Arsenal, and they will not give up, so easily. They will not give in to Manchester City very, very easily. But if a worst scenario happens, Moises Caicedo, there is a team that will look at signing him to Arsenal. We're going to be diving into the alternatives. Like I said, I don't want us to talk about alternatives, but David Ornstein breaking this story that Moises Caicedo is still a concrete option. For me, it changes everything. With Thomas Partey leaving Arsenal in this summer, I think the lucrative deal that he's getting from Saudi Arabia, I'm telling you what, he will leave Arsenal for Saudi Arabia. And Moises Caicedo, what a replacement that would be. If we can get Moises Caicedo through the door, I will let Thomas Partey go. I will definitely let Thomas Partey go. Hit the like button, subscribe to the podcast as well. Let's have the conversation in the comment box below. Rice fails, but we get Moises Caicedo. Is that okay with you, right? The Declan Rice deal does not come off. Probably goes to City, probably goes to Manchester United, probably he stays at West Ham, whatever happens, but we get Moises Caicedo. Is that absolutely okay with you? Let me know in the comment box below. Hit the like button for me. Let's get this video to 500 likes. Now, David Ornstein has just confirmed in the last few minutes that if Declan Rice doesn't come off, which Arsenal may not be focusing on at this point in time because they're focused so heavily on him, but if the worst scenario happens, they have a recruitment team who may look at Moises Caicedo and others. We have seen Romeo Lavia linked quite heavily. I'm not sure of that one advancing and developing at this point, at this moment in time, but that could change in seconds or even minutes. David Ornstein speaking on the 5 with Rio Ferdinand. So that is David Ornstein, transfer expert, transfer guru, one of the biggest journalists in the UK, working with the Athletic, confirming that Moises Caicedo has never been away. The name has never been away from the alternatives, but it has never been a case of signing Rice and Moises Caicedo. Now, look, I'm very, very sorry to say that Moises Caicedo was off the transfer list. That was reported by Jacob Steinberg from The Guardian, and I really do trust The Guardian, and I think much of the information they put out is true, but on that one, they were actually not spot on. They were not spot on our interest in Moises Caicedo, because it doesn't make any sense for Arsenal to pick up interest in Moises Caicedo in January, bid 2 bids that are very strong, and eventually just run away from the deal in the summer. It's just that the priorities changed. Maybe we wanted Moises Caicedo in January, and we knew we were never getting Declan Rice in January. And now in the summer, Arsenal do have the opportunity to sign the priority target in Rice, and if that fails, we have a concrete alternative in Moises Caicedo. Now, listen, I love Romeo Lavia, and I really love the romanticism of signing such a young player at a young age. 19 years of age, has a whole future ahead of him. 10 years he's going to be at Arsenal. That's a full decade. It's so romantic. But the Arsenal we are supporting today is very different from the Arsenal we supported 10 years ago, when we signed Alexander Song-Bilong, when we signed Samuel Nasri, when we signed all these beautiful young players just for sale. I think that is changed. I think Arsenal will sell players in the future, but to be honest, we are supporting and we are backing an Arsenal that are capable of challenging for titles. We want silverware. We want a serious team to seriously compete with Man City, Liverpool, Newcastle, Man United, Bayern, Barcelona, Real Madrid, and all the top clubs around Europe. So Moises Caicedo, as an alternative to Declan Rice, is such a concrete one. It makes a lot of sense in my world. It really does make a lot of sense in anybody's world. Listen, if you told me that Arsenal are going for Moises Caicedo as their top priority over Declan Rice, I would definitely take the deal. I think he's a much better player than Declan Rice, especially given the fact that he's such a defined player, right? He's not about playing each and everywhere. He's about playing at CDM. And if you want one of the best CDMs in the Premier League, definitely you sign Moises Caicedo. So look, and I think Arsenal need to be very, very clear of where we stand. If the Declan Rice deal is going to stall, if the Declan Rice deal is going to waste a lot of our time in the transfer window, then we need to move quickly to the alternative. We need to move quickly to the plan B, which for me, Moises Caicedo, I'm sorry to say this, is as good as Declan Rice, if not better. And I know many people would say, what is he talking about? Is he even sure of? I think Moises Caicedo is as good as Declan Rice, if not better. We would be getting a much better player than Rice. I think strongly in terms of tackling, in terms of progression. We would get a player that can massively improve our midfield, very consistent, very durable, and very reliable as well. Probably doesn't come with the leadership skills that Rice comes with. We know that. It doesn't come with the winning mentality that Rice might have picked up in that final of the UEFA Conference League. There's so many things that it doesn't come with, but it comes with a cool head. It comes with the aspect of, I want to be here, right? I want to play for Arsenal. I want to make it at Arsenal. He's a big, big player who would really love to play for Arsenal. He showed us that in January, that he would fight. He would fight his own club. He would fight his own players to join Arsenal Football Club. So for me, it's a very good deal. And it's one that Arsenal should concretely look at. But the problem with these two deals is this. One, they're not going to be any less suitors for Declan Rice. There are going to be so many clubs every single day. We will hear interest in Declan Rice. First it was Bayern, next it was Manchester City, then Chelsea, then Man United. So there always going to be clubs that are interested in signing Declan Rice. It's the same thing with Moises Caicedo. Caicedo is a player that is appreciated by huge clubs, huge managers, and huge projects. Caicedo can be a decade player for Bayern. He can sit in that midfield for Bayern for 10 years, right? Moises Caicedo can sit in for Man United in midfield for 10 years. Same with Liverpool and same with Chelsea. At the moment, Chelsea are leading that race. They feel they're having a free ride on Moises Caicedo, and they feel if Arsenal can get Rice, or if Arsenal can agree a deal for any other player, they will sign Moises Caicedo at a very, very cheap fee. We need to go in there and stop that move. We need to swoop in for Moises Caicedo. He's such a player that we can't leave Chelsea to roam around and sign him without any competition. We can't allow that to happen. It can't happen. The same thing that Manchester City have done with Declan Rice, because it's such an interesting profile. Manchester City have gone, we can't allow Arsenal to strengthen with Declan Rice without any competition. If they're going to get him, if they're going to sign Declan Rice, they must overpay. They must pay above the odds. That is the same thing we need to do with Moises Caicedo. If Rice, and I think Edu will have communicated to Mikel Arteta by now that, you know what, it's a deal we'll do or it's a deal we will not do, right? They know. I don't think there is a lot of optimism around this deal at the moment, especially with Manchester City coming in. There is a lot of negativity. There is a lot of likelihood that we will not sign him, right? So at the moment, Moises Caicedo to the rescue. Imagine losing Thomas Partey and losing Declan Rice and losing Moises Caicedo. That is a horror show. That would be one of our worst transfer windows ever in our history. Like, you've lost two of your top priority targets. You've also lost one of the best defensive midfielders in Europe. That would be one of our worst transfer windows. Like, I don't remember. We've had one of, like, I think our worst one was when we signed Peter Cech, and we tried to sign Benzema and we didn't get him. We tried to sign Higuain, we didn't get him. And I think we also tried to sign Rooney as well, and we got none of them, and we only came out of the transfer window with Peter Cech. Just imagine Arsenal trying to chase Kai Havertz and Moises Caicedo and trying to keep Thomas Partey in the end, and we fail on those fronts, all of them, and we only come out of the window with only Kai Havertz. the perfectionist mentality that we're trying to create in this midfield will be dead 100%. So for me, I'm telling you this, and this is what I think strongly. Moises Caicedo is such a very good shout. It's such a very, very good shout. We should not be looking to sign Moises Caicedo after Rice fails. We should be trying to do both deals at the same time. Whichever we do, that is the deal. Look, if Arsenal were lining up in this way, Caicedo, Rice, and Odegaard, that is a midfield that rivals Manchester City. I'm telling you, facts. That is a midfield that rivals Manchester City because Rodri and Caicedo, they would cancel each other out. I think Rice would also cancel each other out, himself out with, Rodri as well. I think Caicedo has the ability to destroy any midfield in the world right now. I think that the strongest midfield in the world right now is Manchester City's or Madrid's, because Madrid you have Modric, you have Cruz, you have Bellingham now, and Tchouaméni and Camavinga. Any of the options they go with, that is a quality midfield. Man City with Kevin De Bruyne, Rodri, Bernardo Silva, and Ilkay Gundogan. Again, that is quality. But I think Moises Caicedo has the ability to become the new N'Golo Kante. Moises Caicedo has the ability to become the signing that we never had in N'Golo Kante coming from Leicester City to Arsenal. I think he's got that ability. He has the ability to give us the new vibes of Alexander Song-Belong when he left Arsenal. That is how I view him. That is how much I appreciate Moises Caicedo. And it shouldn't be a very hard deal to do. Now, Chelsea have had a bid rejected, 60 million. And I think Brighton know that if Arsenal went in with 60 in January, there will be more clubs interested in signing Moises Caicedo this summer. So they will want to take it slow, patient, until, clubs outbid each other. I'm okay. I'm one that doesn't want bidding wars for players because in the end, you will overpay. But I tell you, I'm one for Moises Caicedo signing for Arsenal in a bidding war and Arsenal paying over 90 million. And I think if Arsenal took the offer we have given to West Ham for Declan Rice, because Moises Caicedo is not English, we sign him. We get him. If we have 90 million to spend and we place the same offer, the same exact offer, 90 million, 75 guaranteed, 15 add-ons, actually 15, 70 million guaranteed, 10 add-ons, that is 80, payable within 6 years, Brighton would take that deal. I'm telling you, Brighton will take that deal. They already have money from McAllister, money from Bissouma, money from all these other sales they've made. I'm very sure the only point they would say, can you give us more money up front, please? Right? That's the only thing they would say. Can you give us more money up front? The rest of the structure of the deal will be agreed there and then. Romeo Lavia is such a very good shot, but I think Lavia would be playing the same role if we had Partey or if we had Caicedo or if we had Rice. Lavia is a backup. Lavia would be a rotation player, a squad player, just to come in when Moises Caicedo needs that bit of rest, just to come in when Moises Caicedo needs to be rotated, or is injured, or is is suffering from burnout and things like that. But Lavia does not form an Arsenal midfielder to compete with Tchouaméni, Rodri, Casemiro, Fabinho. I don't think he's there yet. And there is also a big question whether he's ready to propel himself into a player that is going to be playing UEFA Champions football. Now, Moises Caicedo at the moment is not playing anywhere in Europe, but I'll tell you, Moises Caicedo has propelled Brighton into playing UEFA Europa League football this next season. He's ready for the jump. He's absolutely ready for that next step. And if Arsenal gets him, I don't even care about Declan Rice. I'm telling you, I don't even care about Declan Rice. Personal terms already, not agreed, of course, but we have had an insight of what the player wants since January. We have got the green light from the player to sign for us. And if you put us on the same levels at Chelsea at the moment, I doubt he's going to pick Chelsea. Like, I really doubt he's going to pick Chelsea. One, we have UCL. Number two, Arsenal have a much better project that suits young players. And number three, I think we have a more attractive, squad at the moment than Chelsea. Now, Chelsea do have the Enzo Fernandez of this world, the Mikhailo Modric of this world, but I bet he would love to play with Havertz and Odegaard in midfield. He would love to play with Saka. He would love to play with Gabriel Jesus. He would love to play in that double midfield pivot with Alexander Zinchenko inverting it to midfield, or even the prospect of playing with Timber alongside him and Zinchenko alongside him as well would be very, very interesting to him as a player. So for me, Caicedo is such a very nice shout. Like, I will talk all day about Moises Caicedo. And now that we have a team watching Moises Caicedo, ready to get the deal done if we don't get Declan Rice, I'm going to be giving you my opinion on Moises Caicedo every single day. I think later, if I do get the strength, I will do a video why Moises Caicedo is the perfect replacement of Thomas Partey. If you lose Partey, you sign Caicedo. You don't sign Rice. I like Rice. Rice is a nice guy. But Moises Caicedo, the dynamism, the midfield dynamite, the strength, the physicality, he's a nice shout. Like, we've got to agree to this, guys. He's a nice shout. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment box below.